All right, so this is Dan coming back at you with more fun stuff this week on artificial intelligence. And today I have a very special guest who I met at the Accounting Today conference. It was on artificial intelligence. This is Harsh Mody. Harsh, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. And where are you calling in from?
Southern California,
Oh,
Orange County.
cool. Oh, all right. So that's why you went to San Diego for the conference, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and Harsh has created a beautiful artificial intelligence program called CPA Pilot, and he gave me an account to work with and try. So what I wanted to do today is just go through what he's creating here and see if it applies to what you guys are doing, if it will help you. So, Hardy, I'm looking at this right now and I see the plus button here, the search function, and all this good stuff. But I think it'd be helpful to just start over here. What are these? First of all, what does your program do in a couple of sentences?
So you can think about it as a tax assistant. It acts as a mentor and gives you guidance on what to do, how to do it, whether it be the tax rules, regulations, or your tax programs. And then it also acts as an assistant where it'll actually do some of the work for you.
Excellent. That's really good. So, I was using it, even I can use it, so I'm sure it'll be easy for everyone to use. I did want to go through and just cover a couple things here on the left. So you have a chat button. Is this actually where you start? And like if you have a question, you can just stay on this chat button?
So you'll actually click the plus sign to get started.
Okay, the plus sign. We're going to get into this a little bit, but it seems like right here you have states, federal tax software, and accounting software. So if you had a particular question, you would click on like states and the state that you have the question on. We'll get into that in a minute. And what is this favorites button right here?
So that just allows you to find conversations more quickly. So if you highlight, yeah, if you click one of those conversations and favorite it,
Okay,
and then you'll be able to see that conversation over on the other side on that favorites tab.
gotcha. Okay. And then we have prompts. And what is this? Just like a little tutorial on how to ask questions?
Yeah, it just allows the user to see what you can ask, give some ideas as to how you can use it,
Okay.
whether it be tax research or marketing or situation analysis. Like
Okay.
there's a lot you can do here. Training as well.
Excellent. Okay. And upload documents. I guess this is new today. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We
Awesome.
released this today.
Hmm.
You can upload a tax return or a series of documents like W-2s, 1099s, K-1s, and ask it to give you an analysis, or you can ask it to give you a tax plan. We're really just scratching the surface on what people can do with
Right.
it, and you can ask questions about the tax documents. If you upload a tax return, you can also get like a review, so
Excellent.
summary plus also some highlights of what aspects of the tax return could be looked at more closely, or red flags, things like that.
Really cool. All right. Now, just a quick question on this because I don't think we'll have time to get into this as much. But let's say somebody's working in, um, well, for instance, like Lacert, and they do a tax form in Lacert. Are you saying that they would then download that as a PDF and then upload it to here and it'll sort of double check their work?
Yeah.
Wow, that is excellent. Okay, great. Very helpful.
We'll also get to the point where you're able to upload the W-2s and documents and then convert that into an import file so that instead of actually manually entering that information, you can just upload and then download an import file and then import that into the tax program.
Okay, so clarify this for me for the non-CPA. Does that mean somebody gives you their tax information in like a questionnaire or something like that? It'll go through.
So you can upload a client organizer. You can
Okay.
also upload like the tax documents itself,
Huh.
and then the AI will combine it all into the format that the tax software might need for.
Fantastic. And what software are you currently compatible with?
So if you actually hit that plus sign, if you go back to the conversations tab, go
Yeah.
to, yep, click there and then click plus, tax software, go to one up above, click that. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
have
All the big
our
hitters. You
entire
got
menu.
Drake, ProConnect, ProSeries, TaxHome, UltraTax. All right.
And we're also adding
And let's,
CCH next
you
week.
are adding. Oh, great. And is that
Yep.
with the PFX and also the Access? It doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
right?
all of it.
fantastic. You got all the big boys in here. That's fantastic. All right, really good. So, uh, what I'd like to do is let's just say it's my first time using this, and let's go through what this plus button does because I think that this, besides what we just saw, this uploaded document feature is amazing, I think. But let's say I have a question about taxes and it's a state tax and I live in New York. So I'm going to go to New York, right? And this needs to be specific because they'll have information pertinent to New York State. Is
Correct.
that okay? And then, so I got New York here, and what am I going to type down here? Message CPA Pilot, I'm assuming.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right. I'm
And
going to need,
also, let's say you wanted to use there are some message suggestions right here in the middle of the screen as well. So you
oh,
could potentially click
gotcha.
one of those as well. Also, if you go into the prompt library, you click one of those and then it'll populate down here at the where it says message CPA pilot.
So
But
these on the left you created, and you're like, oh, create a chart of accounts, whatever.
uh, no, so when you go to the prompt library, if you click on that uh, on the left-hand side right there, yep. If you click that, you can click one of those and then it'll populate. So you don't have to type the full prompt, right? So you could say,
Uh,
um,
let's see if it knows what the Gramm-Leach. Well, of course I spelt it wrong, but uh, let's see. Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, which I'm into cybersecurity, so this will be important for me. So this act, just for the viewers, is how CPA firms really need to have a cybersecurity assessment done once a year. Wow. All right, and it's pretty much saying exactly what people need.
yeah, and
And
then we have the sources that it pulled from. So
yeah,
this is specialized in what New York State has to say, the tax department particularly about what it has to say about the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act. So
yeah,
you'll probably get a more robust answer with,
federal.
let's say, if you ask like a payroll tax question or something
Oh,
like
okay,
that.
got you. All right, so what's a good? We'll go back to the home here. I suppose we need to do this. We're not in New York, so I'll click the plus sign and I'll go to New York again. Or let's go to California so we can ask a question relevant to your state. What's a good question for you?
Um, what taxes do my clients have to consider when selling a business?
And of course, my spelling's wrong, so let's see if it can understand what I'm saying here. This AI is so smart, it even knows what you're trying to say.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we worked hard on is we don't have to worry too much about prompt engineering. Just
Yeah.
uh, give as much context as you can and give it and ask for the end result that you want. So whether it be a list or a table, um, in this case, I just asked for all the considerations or
Yeah.
all the things that we need to be concerned about. So it just gave a list, but we could say, give me a table of all the considerations or.
Excellent. That's fantastic. And then I suppose if you want to say, can you clarify for a restaurant business? And let's see, clarify for a restaurant. I don't know if it'll get this detailed.
Oh, well.
I'll do right click on that because see if this will work. What is the, while this is figuring it out, um, what are you running off of? Is it Chat GPT or?
So we're using OpenAI's AI models, so the
Mhm.
same models that you can use on ChatGPT,
Yeah.
uh, but we limit it specifically to just tax rules and regulations that we've given it access to.
Awesome. Great. So it did clarify it for restaurants. Really good stuff. Okay, good. What I'd like to do is move on to, well, you could do federal as well. So I just want to let
Yeah,
people
so we
know
have
that,
tax court cases and things like that as well
okay,
that you
so
can.
then, so all the states are here. If you live in Alaska, it'll have information for you in Alaska. Federal, you can just type in the IRS. And what's a question that's good for IRS? When are taxes due? I'll make it super easy.
Well, there's maybe a better one like what are the different types of depreciation? Maybe that's and give me a put it in a table.
Differentiations,
Different types of depreciation.
depreciations, and create a table. Let's see if it understands that. All right, CPA Pilot, different types of depreciations, and create a table. There's your table. Excellent description, key features. Nice. So really, any question that you may have, and I love the resources, so you can just double
Yeah.
check where it's getting the information from. I do want to let you know that sometimes AI does have what they call hallucinations. So you do want to double check the work that is being done here, and that's why these resource or the sources are very, very important.
Yeah. We've had users even tell us though that we're even more accurate than the $200 PhD level account that ChatGPT offers
Okay.
when it
All right.
comes to tax accounting.
So we're running a little low on time here, but I do want to get into the tax software, and this is really interesting too because the software in itself is difficult to use. So let's say I have a question about
Yeah,
why
so
isn't that popping up?
maybe we can go to this May conversation tab right here. We have some of the conversations that we've asked previously, and we can just walk through one of those.
Okay.
Yeah, so uh, whichever one, whether it be the Lacert
Oh,
one,
like here
yeah,
okay, that's fine. How do I create a P&L? So you already asked the question, and then you have it saved over here, and this is specifically for Lacert.
yeah. So what we did was we pasted a P&L from QuickBooks Online into the message box and asked it to organize it by screen number. And because it knows everything about Lacert, it organized it by screen number. So then there's no jumping back and forth when entering that information.
Excellent.
Now you can also ask it at this point, like to create an import file, and it'll map all these fields into the appropriate format so that you don't actually have to enter the information in,
Excellent.
and you can just download the spreadsheet that it'll give you and import it directly into Lacert. Skip all that data entry.
Awesome.
Uh, I think we did
Yes.
that with that first conversation at the top where it says create an import file for Drake.
Okay.
So if you scroll just to the top so that we can walk the user through that. Yeah, so I actually gave them, in this case, a trial balance for a real estate investment. And so it uh, it mapped the trial balance to the fields that are in Drake and formatted it in the way that Drake needs it so that you can then import it
Excellent.
into Schedule E.
Really good. And you have your sources right here
Yeah,
for the knowledge base. All right. One last thing is I want to, well, can we ask this how to get in touch with Harsh?
sure.
How do we get in touch with Harsh? Where would we ask that here?
Well, we would go to CPAPilot.com because we actually have a chatbot there that acts as a support bot that will
CPA
second
Pilot.
one down. Yeah,
All right. You got good SEO here. Excellent. And so you can just go to cpapilot.com.
yeah, and we have a chatbot down there that's free that you can use to ask questions. There, you see
This
our
guy right
logo.
here.
Yeah,
All
yep,
right.
exactly. Yeah, so there we give you basically a free consultant that uh, will tell you how to use it, will help you with your prompts or help you get the most out of it. You can also fill out your contact information if you need some help, and you can also email support at cpapilot.com.
Okay, CPAPilot.com. I'll put that in a text so people can go there, give this thing a trial, check it out, see how it works. If it helps your company, it looks very good as far as being able to answer questions. I know usually firms have that one go-to person that they just ask questions and they just must get overloaded. So this definitely could help your team out, I think, with some of those questions about programs and taxes. All right, Harsh. Well, thank you so much for joining. Anything else you want to add?
I'll say one of the most common use cases that people find a lot of value out of is just copying and pasting a client email into CPA Pilot and then asking for an email reply.
Right.
So that'll cut down your response time significantly.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we didn't even get into the marketing functionality of this. So
yeah,
I do encourage everybody to start a free trial, check it out. And yeah, thank you very much, Harsh. I appreciate you joining us, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks.
thanks.